Hey YouTube, Not So Slim Jim coming to you with an update for Texas Second Amendment news. We had an announcement yesterday that we're going to be having big news today, May the 21st, about something going on in the state capitol. Hopefully it's going to be that 1927, aka constitutional-ish Freedom Bill is going to finally be ready to be going back to the Senate and the House floors, where they can both go, yes, we can live with these amendments, and it can be voted on and go to the governor. So hopefully we'll have information on that by today or at the latest early next week, so I can give you a rundown of all the amendments they decided to add or strip from it, and we can see exactly how bad the bill did turn out. Now, there's two other big bills going on this year when it comes to Second Amendment freedoms in the state of Texas. Some of you may know of them, some of you may not, so I want to give you a quick rundown on what they are. First one is HB 2622. That is the Texas Sanctuary 2A bill. Now, this bill does a little bit, but promises a lot. All it really does is basically tells law enforcement agencies in the state of Texas that anything that has to do with firearms, to an extent, they cannot prosecute people for federal crimes. Now, a lot of people have a misunderstanding that that includes things to do with short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, machine guns, other weapons, things of that nature. Unfortunately, I read through the bill, it's not that long, and that is not correct. If you look at 4602, it talks about it only has to do with things defined underneath firearms. Machine guns, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, and so on have their own individual separate definitions and is not included underneath firearms. It is below firearms, but not included with the definition therefore. So all this would do is tell any municipality or law enforcement in the state of Texas that if there is a law that pertains to firearms that has a federal regulation that is greater than that of the state, you cannot enforce it. Now, it doesn't make any legal penalty for the law enforcement department or the individual officer who enforces it. What it does is if you are for some reason convicted or arrested or something that has to do with federal crimes, you can report it to the Attorney General of Texas, and the Attorney General of Texas will then turn around, investigate it, and then if they find that the department has been doing it, they will take away their state funding. Basically, if they're doing it, they'll just take away their allowance for the next fiscal year. So this does some. It only covers firearms, firearm accessories. So if they try saying, oh, bump stocks are illegal, and I think this would cover bump stocks because they're trying to say that it's a machine gun, but federal law says that, but state law doesn't. So I'd have to double check that one, but I'm pretty sure bump stocks would be legal in Texas again, and ammunition. I'm sure that has to do with how large your magazines can be, what kind of ammunition you can fire. But even then in Texas, we still have armor-piercing handgun ammunition laws. So that one's a little vague. That's if I think they create any new upcoming laws on the federal books that would protect us from. Now, this was passed by the House already, made it through the Senate committee. It was passed the Senate committee on May 19th, so we're just waiting for it to go to the floor for a vote. Next one is the Suppressor Freedom Bill. This one makes me a little happy in the nether bits. This makes it where any suppressor that is manufactured, sold, and owned, which means it has to stay in the state of Texas, is legal without having to have a license to manufacture it or to own it. Now, this is cool for people who want to make their own suppressors, but, and here's a big but, most FFLs, most shops that own, or I should say sell suppressors, are still regulated by the ATF. So I'm pretty sure if the ATF catches these guys who are buying suppressors made from companies in Texas and selling suppressors to people who live in Texas without having to do a tax stamp or sending information to the ATF, they're probably going to yank their license real quick, fast, in a hurry and try to charge them with federal crimes. Now, that's going to be a little difficult if we get both bills passed, but at the same time, most of these shops are not going to sell someone a suppressor regardless of what the state law says, because they don't want to lose their business. So this is going to be limited to pretty much just people who are going to manufacture their own ones, which for the most part really isn't all that bad, because I don't have a problem with that, because then you can just start buying them online, and then the ATF agent's going to be like, oh, well, you got this, and like, hey, I bought it sent to Texas, wasn't completed it myself, so I manufactured it here. I'm not leaving the state with it. Kiss my big fat butt. That was actually passed through the House already. It has made it through the Senate committee, and it has finished on May 18th. Now we're just waiting for hit the Senate floor. So for all these bills, we have until the 31st of this month. If they do not get voted on, passed, and sent to the governor by the 31st of this month, the bills are dead. So as usual, call your senators, call your representatives, call Danny Boy, call the governor, say, hey, these are the 3 bills that we want passed. We want these set up. Stop screwing around with our freedoms, and let them know that here in Texas, we keep saying that we're this friendly gun state. Well, we should start acting like it. Till next time, if you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down in the comment section.